My name is Paula Cutillo. I am a groundwater hydrologist for the National Park Service Water Resources Division, and I've been working with Keauhou National Historical Park on this issue since 2005. The National Park Service filed its petition in September 2013 after exhausting many of the options that are now being suggested as alternatives to designation. I would like to briefly summarize this background information to illustrate why we believe the Commission on Water Resource Management should act now to continue the designation process. So, permit conditions. Since 2005, we've commented 7 times on well construction and pump installation permit applications for wells in the vicinity of the park. We requested that the Commission condition permits so that increased pumping would be accompanied by increased groundwater monitoring. In 2009 and again in 2011, we raised concerns with the Commission regarding the quality of data being collected per the special permit conditions placed on the Koaniki wells. For environmental impact statements and environmental assessments. Since 2006, we've commented on 14 environmental disclosure documents for projects which would increase groundwater withdrawals in the vicinity of the park. In the Water Resources Protection Plan. In 2007, in comments to the Commission on the draft update to the Protection Plan, we requested that the plan contain clear provisions to ensure national park resources and water right protections to avoid resource impairment. Working groups and roundtables. In 2008, we convened a groundwater working group and held 2 facilitated meetings and 2 open meetings with a wide range of stakeholders. Since 2008, we've participated in every meeting of the Kona Water Roundtable. The Water Use and Development Plan. In 2011, we raised concerns with the Commission about the 2010 update to the Hawaii County Plan. We requested that the chairperson initiate designation proceedings based on information in the plan or condition the plan to require a calculation of authorized planned use. The plan was adopted without either action, and now uncertainty regarding authorized planned use is being cited as a reason to delay action on designation. And Commission briefings. In 2011 and 2012, we briefed the Commission staff and the Commissioners 3 times on the limitations of groundwater monitoring and threats to the park's water resources from existing and proposed groundwater withdrawals. None of these options address our primary concern, which is regulating the location of wells. The spatial distribution of wells can substantially influence the timing and magnitude of any adverse effects. The model that you use to guide permitting in undesignated areas, the robust analytical model, assumes that pumping wells will capture fresh groundwater as it flows to the ocean. We are operating from the same starting point, with recognition that the cumulative effects of existing and future pumping wells will affect groundwater discharge in the park. Staff submittal suggests that more time is needed for completion of ongoing hydrologic studies to better understand the interaction between the high level and the basal aquifers. We understand that there may also be site-specific geologic conditions, such as perched aquifers or deep confined aquifers, which may make it less likely that a particular well will capture fresh water that would otherwise discharge in the park. In such cases, the Hawaii Supreme Court has found that the burden of proof rests with the applicant. The water use permit is an existing state process that requires every applicant to address whether site-specific geologic conditions at a proposed well will harm public trust resources. This permitting process, however, only exists in designated water management areas. The water use permitting process allows you to explicitly consider non-consumptive public trust uses of water and site-specific geologic conditions when permitting wells. Otherwise, you are simply maximizing consumptive use to the detriment of native plants and animals. We therefore urge you to continue the designation process today as a first step toward proactively protecting public trust resources during the well permitting process. That was my oral testimony, and I wanted to make just a few short statements about the staff submittal based on what we heard today. The staff recommendation and submittal indicates that recharge, the USGS water budget report indicates that recharge is higher than 87 million gallons per day. And this same report also indicates that under drought conditions, recharge would be lower. It would lower recharge from 87 to 65 million gallons per day. This would lower the sustainable yield from 38 to 28 million gallons per day. So that same report that indicates recharge is higher also says under drought conditions, drought years, it could be much lower. And if you were to truly adopt the most conservative number, it would be 28 million gallons per day. With that said, the petition, with that said, sustainable yield is what we argue in the petition is just a starting point. It should not be the basis for all the decisions in managing water in the aquifer system, but I wanted to point out that there are lower numbers for recharge under drought conditions. I also wanted to point out that we're not just concerned about pumping in the high-level aquifer, we're concerned about pumping wells in the basal aquifer around the park. There are wells pumping right next to the park from the basal aquifer, and wells have been proposed on all sides of the park in the basal aquifer. So that is also a concern. I also wanted to point out that invasive fish have only been observed in 11% of the park's ancholine pools. And one more thing, on native species, they are found in a wide range of salinities in the park, but the science that we've cited in the petition indicates that several species, including the orange-black Hawaiian damselfly and the candidate endangered water birds, require fresher water at different stages of their life cycle. And so we want healthy, robust populations of these species, and we want the conditions that allow them to reproduce. Okay, thank you.